Hey everyone, Doug here with another trailer construction update video. I know it's been a little while, and I apologize for that. I've had a lot of things going on, but I'm back to working on the trailer again, so there's actually some stuff to update you on. So, starting outside today, because I had one thing on the outside of the trailer that I wanted to show you. I've never actually shown you guys the connector panel that I've done in here. Not super exciting, but those are the fiber connections that I connect into there. And that's not new, but what is new is a fiber, or a cable hatch here that I can run the fiber cable through. So when I'm parked, I can run fiber cable through here, close that, and then actually lock and secure this door so that those connections are no longer accessible. So that's something I did the other day. I still need to clean up some of the residue from the silicone that I used to insulate it, but yeah, so that's new. I've done a few things on the inside of the trailer as well, mostly with regard to electrical. So I'll just kind of take you on a brief tour of some of that. You may notice, first of all, that the lighting that I'm under here is a little bit different color. So that's the normal lighting that I've used in the past. This is incandescent colored light, so 3200 Kelvin. I intend to use that just basically for loading and unloading, just kind of general illumination for during the time we're setting up and taking down. When we're actually going to a real we're actually doing a production, though, we'll switch to task lighting. And I just barely installed this a couple days ago. So what I've done here is I've got these LED lights up on the ceiling. These are daylight colored, and so the color of those roughly matches the same color as the monitors, and so I don't have to worry about mismatches there. These lights are actually controlled individually at each station. So this one here is at the station for graphics and PTZ, and I haven't mounted it in a panel yet, but the switch to turn the light on and off is just right here. So each person can turn their light on and off. And then I've got the master switch here on the wall at the entrance. There's one of these lights in the audio booth, so one there illuminating the work area. And while I'm here, I mentioned that until I finally get around to getting my Yamaha mixer, I've got this Behringer X-Control or X-Touch universal control surface here, mounted on what really an old TV, wall TV mount. That gets it up above the desk so that I can have access to both of them at the same time. These two units combined are too wide to fit without elevating one. So, but having the light there really does make working here at this station a lot easier. So you can see what the controls on the mixer without any problem. There are two of these lights up here at the front that are illuminating the front desk, and so I can see the control panel and other things that we happen to be working on. Some of these keyboards that we use do not have backlights, so it's really nice to have a light source that will illuminate those for us. Again, those are controlled through switches on the control panel, so this one controls the light on the left, the one over here controls the light on the right. Now, while I was actually doing the wiring for these, I finally added a switch. This is the master power switch. It's not going to live here permanently. It's just here until I get around to building the doors, hiding the area in front of this front wall. So, but that is the master switch that basically turns on all the 12-volt systems, and the 12-volt systems in a lot of cases actually control the 110-volt as well. So I've got those lights put in now, and this is a lot more comfortable to work in than this is. This actually causes some eye strain. It's a little bit bright for this sort of work environment. So from now on, we'll be using this lighting as we're working. I still have two more of those lights to put up. There will be one above the engineer station. I've already run the wire for it. You can see that here, but haven't put the actual light in. The main reason for that, let me flip these lights on. I 3D printed the mounts that these lights go in. The lights themselves are more than 2 inches tall, and there isn't 2 inches of space above the ceiling in the trailer. There's above the ceiling, there's just an inch of insulation, and then the top sheet metal. So there wasn't enough room to mount a 2-inch depth light, and so I 3D printed these. And I just drew those in the piece of software that comes with Windows 10 for doing 3D objects. So yeah, all those are 3D printed, and each one takes about 4 hours to print, and I still need to print a couple more of them. There will also be one above the playback booth, which I have yet to install. While I'm kind of giving a little tour of lighting, and show you guys just what I'm doing for the YouTube videos that I'm shooting these days. This is going to be kind of bright, so flip this on. This is the main light that illuminates the desk area while I'm shooting those videos. And then I've got another one up top here to produce a rim light or a hair light. Not that I have much hair to worry about, but the light's there just to offset me from the background a little bit. There's also a baby pin on the wall over here for another panel, and so for some videos I've set that up, but for the last couple I haven't bothered. So I have another light, and it sort of aims this way to fill in some of the holes on the left side of my face there. But also, speaking of those videos, I'll show you just kind of briefly. I'll have to turn on the ugly orange light here. But when I shoot those videos, I typically do that by having this Sony Z150 mounted on the wall. So it's actually a security camera mount. I had it laying around, threw it up on the wall and put the camera on it. So that's the camera it's actually shooting. I did a couple of them with a tripod back here, but I couldn't really get close enough to the wall to get the angle I wanted, and so I went with this, and that allows me to have the camera as close to the wall as possible and not have the tripod in the way. And then the SDI cable for that just runs up to the patch bay where it goes into the switcher, and so those videos that I'm shooting actually do go through the switcher. I've been doing most of those 1080p because I very often have computer displays involved, and 4K out of a computer can be a little bit tricky. For example, I use my Surface Pro 2 here, and it does not do 4K out of its HDMI or display port, so I'm limited to 1080p if I'm doing computer video, unless I want to take the time to run it through say a Teranex Express to upconvert it to 4K, and it just doesn't seem worth it. For those sorts of videos, having high resolution doesn't really matter much. But so let me think if there's anything else. I think that's about it. I haven't done a ton on the trailer. I've just been working on other projects. Oh, I did do one other thing here. So this monitor on this wall, it was on a swing arm, and I found that we just weren't using the capability of swinging it, pulling it away from the wall, and so I mounted it with a more permanent mount. Now I took the swing arm and moved it back here to this monitor, which will need to come out away from the wall, and so I just kind of repurposed things and made them work a little bit more effectively for what we're doing. So we do have another event that we're shooting this coming Friday. If I remember, and if things aren't too hectic, I will try and stream some of that on the Patreon to the Patreon subscribers. So if you haven't yet and you're maybe interested in that, go and sign up on Patreon, and you'll have access to some of those behind-the-scenes videos that we're doing. So the website address, I'll post a link in the description, but it's DJ Prod on Patreon. So it's patreon.com/DJPROD for Doug Johnson Productions, and you can sign up and you'll have access to that video at even the $5 entry contribution level. So if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, smart remarks, or otherwise, be sure and let me know in the description below. Also be sure to share, like, and subscribe the video, and as always, thanks for watching.